Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Some massive news for the Georgia Bulldog fans coming out of the recruiting trail as five-star linebacker Zayden Walker committing to the Georgia Bulldogs, a guy that we've talked a lot about over the last couple of weeks and months. And you turn on the film with Zayden Walker, and the first thing that comes to mind is this kid was born to play linebacker for the Georgia Bulldogs. Not only am I a massive fan of Zayden Walker as a linebacker prospect, I'm an even bigger fan of the fit that he has in this Georgia defense, where you look at how Kirby Smart, Glenn Schumann want their linebackers playing downhill, getting behind the line of scrimmage, getting involved in the pass rush. You look at Zayden Walker, this is a kid that just lives in backfields of opposing offenses, right? Whether he's blitzing the A or B gap, whether he is blitzing off the edge, elite pass rushing chops, a perfect fit in this Georgia defense. And you look at this Georgia linebacker room, not only in 2024, where the Georgia fans know I've been very vocal, it is, in my mind, the best linebacker room you see in the country. You look at what it's going to look like in 2025 and in 2026, guys like CJ Allen, Raylan Wilson only going into year two, Justin Williams, Chris Jones, Chris Cole. Now you add Zayden Walker in the 2025 class. This is a linebacker room that probably has at this point 6 or 7 NFL caliber linebackers in this room, fired up about this commitment, want to get into the film, talk about what he brings to this Georgia defense. Before we do, and as always, just want to give a massive shout out to all you guys and a shout out to the Georgia fans. This is going to be an extremely fun and busy next couple of weeks on the recruiting trail, breaking down what seems to be a lot of commitments incoming for Georgia. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Cannot thank you guys enough for all the support you guys have shown the boys. And without further ado, let's get into Zayden Walker. Now, you're looking at just an elite athletic profile. That is why he's a top 10 player nationally. You look at what Zayden Walker brings to Georgia. I think the first thing I want to talk about is the versatility. You see this kid line up all over the field at the high school level, primarily getting used as an edge rusher, kind of that on-ball linebacker, and he is elite at challenging tackles with his athleticism and juice off the line of scrimmage. And then you take a look at some of his reps at that traditional off-ball linebacker spot, sideline to sideline, operates in space exceptionally well, and that's a conversation that we have a lot. You look at the modern era of college football, you need your linebackers to be supreme athletes. There are a lot of opposing offenses that are trying to attack linebackers in space, in coverage. Gone are the days where your linebackers are just asked to play inside the tackle box. You have to carry tight ends up the seam. You got to go sideline to sideline, tackle running backs in the flat. Zayden Walker displays all of those traits. His closing speed to the football is on another level. Again, an elite pass rusher, extremely versatile. Want to get into the film and really dive into what Zayden Walker brings to this Georgia program. And again, you see a lot of reps of him kind of in that 2-point stance, coming off the line of scrimmage as that on-ball linebacker, elite pass rush traits. I mean, this is a kid that gets into the backfield routinely. Offensive tackles at the high school level just struggle to really deal with Zayden Walker's get off. And then you see that more traditional off-ball linebacker spot where Zayden Walker, I mean, just stretching plays out, going sideline to sideline, just kind of an eraser at that second level of a defense. Some more reps of that on-ball linebacker, the closing speed, his ability to get to the quarterback in such an efficient and fast manner, living in the backfield. This, you take a look at this rep right here, this running back in pass pro, poor guy, just never stood a chance. I mean, not only is Zayden Walker extremely athletic, he is a guy that has that Georgia Bulldog linebacker thumping mentality. He is extremely violent on the football field as well. And you start looking at all the traits you want in a Georgia linebacker. Zayden Walker just displaying that, working through 2 blocks there, shedding blocks, getting into the backfield. Closing speed is really just on another level. And you look at all the athletic quarterbacks that you're going to see in the SEC, you have to have linebackers that can close the distance. And a guy like Zayden Walker is certainly one of those guys. You can play him as a quarterback spy. You can rush him off the edge. You can rush him in the A or B gap. You can pretty much do anything you want with the guy like Zayden Walker because of the athleticism and versatility that he displays. Again, off the line of scrimmage, heavy hands, working through what seems to be just an obvious hole, getting to the quarterback. You guys know I'm a massive fan of Zayden Walker. We've talked extensively about him, and you start taking a look at this 2025 class, and 10 commits in the fold, sitting at a top 15 class in the country. I don't think there's a single Georgia fan that is sitting here right now in early June worried about how this Georgia class finishes up. You know, we talked just the other day about how much talent was on campus over the weekend. I mean, every single weekend in the month of June, Georgia is hosting premier talent from across the country. I would be wildly surprised if Georgia does not finish as a top 2 class in the country. They're starting to really cook on the recruiting trail. A lot of commitments to break down over the next couple of days. Wanted to hop on, talk about one of my favorite prospects in this 2025 class. We'll close it there. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later.